Let me quickly kill Cyrus, man. Oh no! He's delaying! You mean this beam here? Easiest memory game of my life. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to showcase a build that I bought yesterday out of somebody from the TFT server, and the only thing I saw was a clip. I'm actually just going to show you that clip real quick, so you actually get an idea on what was my thinking process, because in the end of the day, I'm not like the guy that just buys off any build, but I'm just finishing here my challenges, right? And the way I did it was just with my Righteous Fire character since the last, like, I don't know, couple days basically. But I'm getting kind of bored of the build, but I'm not in the moods to actually level up a new character and stuff like that. So I went to the TFT server, said like, yo, I want to buy a build. I offer one mirror, like, just offer me whatever you got, right? It just should be a speed build, right? And there was a guy linking me, give me a second, linking me this clip, and he said like, don't show it on stream, blah blah blah, until I buy it, basically, right? So this was the clip that I saw, and I was like, what is going on, you know? Why is this possible? What is this? You know, he has like 400 life, he has like 500 ES, he's not dropping a single life. There is something fishy going on, right? And this actually got me so interested, and I told this guy like, yo, just tell me what you want to have. I want to try this, I want to play this, you know, and here I am just showcasing this, how this actually works, right? And yeah, I bought it off for a mirror. Basically, if you say that's scam or not, I don't really care, just because, you know, I'm soon done with the league. So if I get mirrors in standard or not, I don't really care. But this got me so interested just because of the mechanic. And I want to say, this exists already, right? This is not something new. I think the first one, based on my little bit of research that I've done, I think Wisp was the first one playing something like that as a Slayer, because you want to have overleech, right? But there is other ways, for example, the offering to the Serpent that says also life leech effects are not removed when unreserved life is full. So let me quickly showcase this in a map, how this actually works. I'm currently farming the Blood Crucible level plus the endgame grinds. It's just like another, like, probably 320 or 15 rituals missing, right? All we do is just hit once, and now we're basically completely immune to damage, okay? I'm actually just gonna remove my Mirage Archer so you can actually see what's going on. But overall, you just don't get damage, you know? I have 55 life, I have 300 energy shield. This is a real immunity build as long as I'm leeching, okay? This is the core fact here. So it's not 100% immune wherever you are. There are some cases where this build completely cannot do anything, so I want to go over them in a little bit. For example, Delirium, I tried like wave 30 Simulacrum. I tried wave 30 Simulacrum, but there are some monsters that reduce your life recovery rate and therefore your leech, and that will make you vulnerable to any kind of damage, or at least you still have a shit ton of damage reduction. But if you only have like 55 life, whatever looks in your direction will basically just kill you, right? And as you see, it just like, it just one of these builds that I don't know if this should be a thing. You know, I could see some very interesting mechanics here. I don't know if this actually works in Delve, you know. And when I say with works, there is obviously map modifier where the build just dies, right? For example, no leech. Yeah, obviously, if your entire immortality comes from leeching and you cannot leech, yeah, well, that's actually pretty bad, right? Or monsters that give you basically less recovery rate of life and whatnot, and this will also make you not reaching the 200%, 40, 100% reduced damage taken. Let me quickly finish this map here, and then we're gonna go over a little bit of a spreadsheet that I just wrote together. Just tell you guys what do you need for a build like that, and how does it actually work, right? But I don't want to waste my rituals because I bought like almost a quad tab full of ritual vessels and maps and whatnot to actually yeah, make my challenges basically, right? It's a bit of annoying with these Blood Crucible grinds, I would say. Just because, like, you need to kill so many monsters, and I think I still have to run, even though I'm level 61.5, it's only 1.5 levels left, but I would not wonder if I still need to run, like, probably 200 or 300 maps in order to get the experience. I'm also leveling up a couple of tier 10 maps over here for Scourged, because I think this might actually give more experience. So at the moment I'm just running the rituals, and once this is done I'm gonna run my tier 10 maps, and then at the end of the day I hope I'm done with my level grind as well. And once this is done, we're fine, right? Good. One other thing, if you're wondering, like, what defenses does this build need? This is like a different way of thinking, okay? My character at the moment has negative resistances, okay? If you don't get damage, you don't need resistance, okay? That's basically the core idea. Is there anything? Not really. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's take a look at my kind of spreadsheet, and hopefully I can explain it well enough so you can actually build something like that yourself. And if you're wondering, yo, is this a mage build build? No. There is way easier ways to achieve this. It was just me personally being like, I want to have a super speed build for my map challenges. That's why I want to have a mage build for the increased empowered effects of flasks and whatnot, you know. But something like the Torrent's Reclamation with life recovery rate, gonna go over that in a second, makes it a lot easier to achieve, right? It was just me being like, I want to be faster, and that's why I need the belt. If you don't play with mage build, this is gonna be so much easier to achieve, right? And as I say again, I'm going to explain now how this actually works. So, let me open this one. Just a bit of a spreadsheet where I wrote down Strength of Blood, immunity build. So basically, this is all about leech build, okay? If you're not leeching, you're dying, you know? You can force leech instances. If you pop your breathing jars, popping some worms, right, and just kill them, you generated some leech instances, right? So, how does this work? There is a cap on your character, right? You can only leech 20% of your maximum HP per second. This is a cap by default, right? And it's not like that you do one hit and you get your 20% life per second. It's actually different leech instances. And basically, I think there's like a cap of like 10 instances, and they queue up basically, right? So at the end of the day, you need to hit multiple times, and every time you have a leech per second, the leech cap instance, how many instances, and as well as how much can you recover in total, right? And there is different modifiers where you can change that. For example, increased maximum recovery per leech, which is saying how much can you leech per second per instance, and this is 10% by default. This will give you up to 15% if we get the 50% increased, right? Then there is increased total recovery per second. This is the amount of actual life that you're leeching that you can modify with a stat with this one. And then there is the maximum total recovery, which says how much per second is the maximum you can recover. I mean, this sounds kind of like hard and it's kind of weird to explain, but in the end of the day, you have to understand, it's not one attack and you leech your entire thing. There is leech instances, and every instance can give you up to 10% of your, basically, of the life. That means if you have 10%, you would actually be able to recover your entire life pool, all your 100%. But you're still capped on how much actual life you can leech per second, and this is capped by 2% per instance, and if you have all the instances full, you're gonna leech 20%. So the one thing says how much can you leech. If you have enough damage, you would now leech, I don't know, let's say you have 10k life, and you hit the monsters and you generate enough leech instances and you have enough damage to generate enough, and then it says you're gonna leech 10k life, okay? but you're not gonna leech 10k life within 1 second. You're only gonna get 20% of your maximum, which is 2k. So basically, over 5 seconds, you're gonna recover basically, or leech your entire 10k life, what you're gonna get out of the leech cap per instance. So as I said, here are some modifiers that will increase the maximum amount that you can leech, how fast you can leech, and as well as like, yeah, the overall thing, right? Good. So if we would modify this with these 3 modifiers, so we get 50% maximum life recovery per life leech, the total recovery and the maximum total, then it would look something like this. Then we could actually get 30% per second life from our total maximum life, with like an increased leech recovery rate, the leech cap per instance, and the total leech per second of your maximum life. So this is just about leech. I know this is like, even if I explain it now, it's kind of hard to understand, but leech is a little bit more complicated, as it just like, yo, I hit an enemy and I leech, and that's pretty much it, right? So, but now, how do we actually get this strength of blood? It says 1% less damage taken for every 2% life recovery per second from leech. So what is that now? Basically, it's this one here, the 20%. And if we would just use the strength of blood here and say we have 20% by default, and this will basically says we don't have any leech, but therefore as soon as we are leeching, we're getting less damage taken, right? So by default, strength of blood will just give us 10% reduced damage taken from all sources. As I said, hit damage, dot damage, whatever damage there is, it's 10% reduced, which is actually quite insane on its own. But what we want to reach is something like complete damage immunity. So, for example, in our, if we apply those 3 sources now and we get up to 30%, that would be 15% because 1% less damage per 2 life recovery per second. So in order to get 100% less damage taken from every source, which is damage immunity, we need a total of 200% maximum. It's just about the increased maximum total recovery per second from leech, okay? So we need to get the maximum leech to 200%. So how can we do this? How did I do that? There is multiple ways. There is literally many ways to do that, right? I will just show you my version, and then I'm gonna lead you guys to different versions where you can apply this a lot faster or easier, right? If you just, for example, skip Mage Blood. It's, as I said, like life recovery on the Torrent's Reclamation makes it a lot easier, right? So, there is, for example, let's go by the tree here, Hematophagy, which says 10% increased maximum total life recovery per second from Leech. This is exactly the one that we need. The maximum total life recovery is 10%, 20%, 30%, and then we have the Life Leech Mastery, which also has 20% maximum total life recovery. So, we have the 30%, we have 20% from the Leech Mastery, then we have 15% from the Vitality Void. This is the Leech cluster over here. Then we have 10% from the Taste of Blood. This is the note over here. I could technically just invest the 2 points and get another anointment, for example. And this one gives me also 10%. Then I have the gloves with a 10% maximum total life recovery per second implicit from the offering to the serpent. And this one actually has this special thing. Life leech effects are not removed when unreserved life is filled. You have to understand, once you're leeching, you're gonna leech until your max life. And then the leech instance is gone, okay? Because you are on full life. There is only a very few ways to gain this kind of over leech, which for example the Slayer has. Life leech effects are not removed at full life. And the offering of the serpent says removed when unreserved life is filled. So basically I have 55 life because this is the stuff that I have unreserved that's free, right? So I'm full, but I'm still gonna overleech because of the gloves basically. And there is other ways where you could get this as well, the overleech, but this is like the way I did it here with the synthesized leeching gloves, not being a Slayer, being a Raider, being even faster. Then we have 30% from our amulet, which is an Elder mod. I think it is Eldritch, yeah. So it's 25% increased maximum total life recovery per second from Leech. And then with the Catalyst, life and mana modifiers goes up to 30%. And then we have the replica Soul Strike, which has 80% reduced maximum recovery per life leech. But we don't care about that because you have to understand, if you don't get damage, you don't need life, energy shield, resistance, armor, evasion, whatever defensive layers your brain says we need to have on a character to make it good. This all falls off. You don't get damage, so you don't need any kind of defensive layers, okay? So how much we leech per second and so on does completely not matter. It's just about the maximum total life recovery. And here we get 40% as well. And then I'm stacking here. My version is like a little bit awkward here with one voices here. I just had them from the Righteous Fire character with Adrenaline. Adrenaline gives you also 10%. So don't take this template here. For example, I have here just a Watcher Sign here, right? I used to have 3 large cluster jewels for the additional Adrenalines, but I'm just like mixing around here. But I needed this kind of setup here because I need to have my Mage Blood. Or I want to have a Mage Blood, right? So, and then we have Vile Pact in the end, which says your total maximum total life recovery per second from Leech is doubled. So the 20% base that we have over here is now basically 40% by default with the Vile Pact, right? But therefore, or is it like we don't have life regen? That's why we also can take something like Skyforth to help with our mana reservation efficiency, or life reservation efficiency, basically. Because we have no life regen with the boots, but we also don't have life regen because of Vile Pact, basically. So there is like no downside of using those boots. And if you say, yo, they don't have life, they don't have resistance, again, if you never take damage, it does not matter, okay? Good. So, and if we have all of this applied and you can stack even more Adrenaline, we're gonna get to an increased base leech rate from our Vile Pact 40%, which is 126. So that means we're still 74% off, because 126 would only be 63% reduced damage taken. So we're missing 74%. And I'm pretty maxed out. I could stack even more of Adrenaline, but at some point, I don't know if you're actually ever going to be able to hit the 200% mark. But then there is something like life recovery rate, which is a multiplier to my Leech here. So the way we need this, we're going to get this basically, we have life recovery rate, which is basically a multiplier to our Leech, and then we have to get the base Leech multiplied by a life recovery rate, and we have to get over 200% to be able to get this 100% reduced damage taken. I'm a little bit over, but that's why I say, you know, don't take my gear for granted. This is not the only way to do it. It's either you get more Leech and less recovery, or if you don't have access to so much maximum Leech, then you just gonna get more life recovery rate. You know, at the end of the day, you need to balance it out to reach the over 200% to gain this immunity. So basically, I get 21% life recovery from my Transcendent Flash, which says every 10 strength in radius gives me, what is the 3% life recovery rate. So I have like 70 over here, means 21% life recovery rate. Then you have a Watcher's Eye with 15% life recovery rate while affected by Vitality. You can also stack Transcendent Flash. This is not... I say this is not limited by one. So I've seen other people scaling over here and take here another Transcendent Flash, for example. So having 2 of those, right? So gain even like 30-40% just out of the 2 Transcendent Flash. Or you can take Torrent's Reclamation, the 50% life recovery rate, to get even more recovery. Or the way I did it, I have here a Watcher's Eye with both Malevolence and Vitality, so that's a 12% and a 15%, makes it a 27 in total. And I have an Conquest, like a Warlord Body Armor with the T1 life recovery rate here as well, makes it a total of 63. So again, just to state this clear, do you need 1 Voices with like 6 Adrenalines? Do you need a Mage Blood? No, absolutely not. Because if I would just be played in a normal way, a lot cheaper, I just use Taurus Reclamation and I get a 15% life recovery rate on top of that. If I have more life recovery rate, then I can skip out on the maximum Leech. So I can run like 3 or 4 Adrenalines. That means I don't even need any Voices. I just pop in my large cluster jewels in that case, right? At the end of the day, either get more Leech or life recovery rate, you need to reach the 200%. And once you have that and you created your Leech instances, so I'm doing this with Ellie Hit here with GMP just for clearing, right? Or the Barrage setup, to get this instantly. And I tried it on Cyrus yesterday, and I can just, as soon as I have my total Leech instances filled, I can just walk through the storm because there is no damage, okay? It's as long as you're leeching, you're immune to it, right? This is like not really min-max at all, because the way I did it now with Mage Blood, I have reduced mana cost, so none of my skills cost any mana, and I still running like inspiration support. This is like from the old version, you know, but personally for me, it's still like It's super fine for mapping, and that's all I'm doing here, right? This is absolutely not min-maxed whatsoever. The only thing that I wanted to do is get as much movement speed as possible to just have a breeze and easy time to do my challenges as quickly as possible with a build that I've never seen or never played before. Just trying to understand how this even works and why is it a thing, and maybe it survives until next league like it did the other leagues. And we probably can do something very interesting. I still don't know if you can actually go deep delve with it. Because I don't know if there is like monsters that have some kind of like maximum or life recovery rate, less life recovery rate, because that would kill our 200% to like 190, and that means I still have like a 99% or a 98% damage reduction, but if you only have 55 life, you're just gonna die regardless, right? So I'm gonna show you that here in the delve a little bit. So basically I'm just hitting a couple monsters, now my Leech instances are full, and now I can literally just stay in the darkness, you know. And this, like the monsters here are immune, I can stay here. It depends how long did I attack monsters and how long are my Leech instances. Usually they are like 5 seconds, you know. But the thing is here, I never even recover life because I don't get damage, so they're still full. It tries to leech me life, but you know, I'm full life, so the life leech is still ongoing. Sometimes I reach over 100 stacks, sometimes it's 200 stacks, but at some point the leech instance is gone, and then I'm basically instantly dead. But this just shows you, as you see over here, now I lost like recovery rate or whatever, but at some point, or at least I lost 1 leech instance out of the 10, and that makes me get like 1% damage or 2% damage, and once the leech instances fall off, I'm instantly gonna be dead, right? So yes, it is an Immortal build, but only as long as you're leeching, but with overleech and everything. This is just a very interesting build. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. The path of build link of my current version is in the description below, if for the people that want to see, and they probably gonna instantly say, yo bro, you have inspiration support and you don't even have mana cost, like what the fuck. Yeah, they haven't watched the video, you guys know better. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.